Hello pilots, welcome to another brand new video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create workspaces for your own clients and set them up. So let's get started. First, we will go to the workspaces section. From here, we have the option to create a workspace. Now, there's also an option for adding default partner permissions for the workspaces. We will talk about that later. First, let's create a workspace for a client. We will call it client's workspace. Then we will select the type, which is going to be partner, because this workspace that I'm creating is for my client. Then create new workspace. Now I have a new workspace called the client's workspace. Now I have to give permissions to this client's workspace. So for example, permissions for the channels, permissions for the managing users, and all of these permissions will be given to this workspace so that the client that is inside this workspace can access those features. So first, I need to switch to that workspace, then go to the workspace permissions section and give the permissions that I want to give to this workspace. Then I click update permissions. Now I have successfully given all the permissions of the channel to this workspace. Now if I go to the users section, I can create an account for my client who can log in using this account. So let's click create, time zone, status. Okay, so if we want to create an account for our client, then we would select this option or turn on this option called client. So it is going to create a client user or client account. And if you click on create a new user or account with the type client will be created. Now you can give the email and password details to your client, and your client can actually log in using the login page of Lancepilot, or if you have set up a custom domain, they will also be able to log in from there as well. Now let's create another user called team member. So this user is a team member of this workspace. Maybe it is a team member for the client, and also the client can create their team member as well and manage them. So I will just create a test one. Now I have a team member user as well. So one thing you have to note that a client by default will have all the permission of this workspace, meaning this is my client's workspace. These from here, these are the permissions of this workspace. So my client of this workspace can access all of this workspace permissions. But if you go to team member, this team member will not have the permissions of this workspace because you can actually manage the permissions of a team member separately. So if you click this option, go to permission section, and here we have to give permissions to the team member and update the permission. This will give permissions to this team member. Now the team member can access these permissions. And now let's just log out from my account. Now click log in. Now I'm logged in as the client, and I can access those things that this workspace or the client's workspace has permission of. So because I have given only the channel permissions to the client's workspace, the client can access only the channels option. So for example, the channel wallet. Now, one more thing I want to show you is the default partner workspace permissions. Meaning, for example, I have created this partner workspace and I had to switch to that workspace, then go to workspace permissions, then select the permission and update the permissions. So that is a lot of work. So when you want to create another workspace, another partner workspace, you would need to do that again. You would need to switch the workspace and set the permissions. That's why what you can do is go to the partner permissions and here save the default permissions you want to give to a partner workspace that you create after updating these permissions. So if I update the permissions and then go to workspaces and create a new client's workspace. That is going to be partner. And then we go to that workspace. Then if we check the workspace permissions, you will see those default permissions that we have set has already been assigned to this workspace. So that is how you actually set up default partner workspace permissions. So this is actually how you set up a workspace for your client. Thank you very much for watching this video.